camera opens up, interior day, we're in a backwater planet known as Dantooine. The cantina is pretty bumpin'. It's midday. It's a beautiful summer day outside. And the camera pushes into the cantina. It's got farming jokes and knickknacks and all sorts of bullshit on the walls. That's really quaint at a Chili's, but at a cantina, it's just kind of weird.
A glass bottle on a shelf that just has a space cord on the cob inside, and it just says bourbon.
Yeah.
Or rye.
Rye, yep.
Rye.
So,
Space rye.
we're inside the same cantina where Remy basically bought a bottle, walked out,
smashed a bottle,
was told that he couldn't walk out with it, smashed it. He has a good rapport here,
Yeah.
I think we can say. This is his favorite. This is his favorite smashing bottles place.
It's all about making first impressions.
It is. It is. And since then, they have your name up on the wall. They have it up twice, right? Hot Wings champion. And don't let this guy hold a bottle.
Yep.
Remy's been busy.
Yeah, it just says no glass. No glass. For several reasons, yeah.
It took him a couple of tries to hit that Hot Wings champion, though.
Yep.
And those were embarrassing
They
tries.
used to serve him, beers with glass bottles, but he would eat the wings and then smash the bottles. Yeah.
Now everything comes in one of those copper, Mercury Muel glasses or something.
That was the middle. That was the first couple weeks. Now they just come in sippy cups. No, it's been several weeks since you guys have emerged from the temple. It's been several months since you guys arrived at Dantooine. When you were in the temple, as you guys might have had a couple conversations since, the seasons have changed a lot faster than you guys were in there. You guys were in there for what felt like a day or two at most, and better part of a year passed, or maybe not better part of a year, but several months have passed since you entered the temple. You have fruitlessly tried to find where Var disappeared to with your ship and with the vital droid Vox. You guys are sitting in a cantina. It's the three heroes, the crew of the Kobolt Krayt, Remy, Bruto, Triz, and they're sitting with Arcee. There's another alien sitting at a chair, a person that you have met for a very specific purpose. As you guys are sort of wrapping up your dealings, Arcee had made this arrangement. You guys had a couple drinks. Things are starting to wind down. Arcee has lined up a purchase to purchase a power core for a droid. He's been hyping up this droid that he has back at his ship, which is not spaceworthy as you guys might remember. But he wants to.
We did finally chase out the chickens. So.
Yeah. He had chickens on his ship. Well, just because it's a farming community. Yeah.
It was
pretty bad. Space chickens, of course. Yeah.
Spickins.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
Nope. Yep. So you guys are picking up this thing. Now you're trading with actual goods. One of the things that's happened recently on Dantooine, and as the camera kind of pushed in from the broad, wide shot of space, is there's a strong Imperial presence encircling Dantooine now. It has been a few months since the Death Star has been destroyed by the rebels at Yavin 4. And as a recourse, the Imperials kind of cracked down, which also inspired the rebels. After their victory at Yavin 4, the rebels have kind of taken the fight to the Empire. And we're still in between Episode 4 and Episode 5. We're just a few months in between. I can't really remember how much time is in between. I want to say like a year or so, but I'll leave that for the super fans out there.
Tell us.
With the internet at their resources. Cool. So you guys finally finished swapping out these some of these parts that were at Arcee's doomsday prep bunker that you guys have been kind of camping out in for a little while. Unfortunately, Bruto had selected a couple parts that he could do without that had some value. You guys are swapping this out for a worthless droid core that you really don't want another droid
It better
around.
be a good droid.
It better be a damn good droid. As you guys are kind of wrapping up dealings, the alien gets up and walks away, having thanked you for your kind of trade. It's very much become a barter system, especially on this space station, or this spaceport far off the beaten path. Credits have less value here than actual goods for trade. This whole situation has kind of gone to hell and back. This cantina is one of those only kind of beacons of hope or beacons of light that you guys still have in the Northern Reach station, which is the same station where you guys had landed several months ago. As you guys are kind of hanging out, winding down, maybe actually committing to having an afternoon of drinking and merriment out of the bunker, some Imperials walk in. And they're Imperials dressed a little bit differently. There is stormtroopers with them. They're not as polished as some of the stormtroopers that have been seen around Dantooine. This is kind of the JV squad up here in this Northern Reach station. There's still rebel incursions, but from everything you've gathered, the rebel pushback in Dantooine has been in the major cities, not these kind of waylaid outposts. The Imperials walk in, and everybody kind of turns and looks at them and then kind of goes back to their business. The talking quiets down a little bit. This isn't an unfrequent occurrence in the canteen anymore, but it certainly is a nervous one, to say the least. The Imperials walk in and they head right up to the bar and they start talking. They don't look like they're here for drinks, though. They look like they're here for business. Mm-hmm. What is your guys' immediate reactions?
Well, this has made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Knowing, that we're very wanted persons still, and that certain people can't manage to stay off Facebook. And,
Stop posting we're on Dantooine, Remy.
yeah, seriously, there are people looking for you, right?
I need to turn off my Foursquare. Remy checking in
Yeah.
Dantooine pub.
You're like, man, that's really weird. Bria's dad is following me on Foursquare. It's like he's trying to find where I'm at.
So is Chimera?
Yeah, so you guys are kind of hanging out, and all of a sudden... Sorry? Yeah, so they turn, the Imperials turn, and one of the bartenders kind of does a head gesture towards your table. The Imperials turn, lock eyes with you, and you know that you're kind of outed. You know you're still wanted, as far as unconfirmed reports have said. Your bounties have dropped considerably since the Death Star was destroyed. Obviously, having plans of the Death Star is no longer worthy of anything, right. But you guys are still fugitives of the Empire. These Imperials have spotted you. They are approaching to arrest you. Are you going to try and flee, leading them on a chase, or are you going to kind of turn tables and settle scores?
So there's like a group of stormtroopers, and you said there was a couple other ones with them that weren't stormtroopers?
There was an Imperial officer of sorts. He's not in a traditional gray uniform. He's in a white uniform primarily. It has some gray markings on it.
Okay.
As far as you can tell,
As a former soldier, would I know this means anything?
Absolutely.
Or...
I'm going to still make you roll for it, but it'll just be one purple, and I'll give you a black because you are kind of nervous.
Okay.
You're kind of caught off guard. So it's just going to be a purple and a black, and this is going to be, I believe you have... Do you have Warfare?
Yeah, we had me take it, but I don't have any,
It's still a knowledge
check.
Yeah. Until you train a rank in it, yeah. Punch out. You got to make sound effects when you roll dice. I believe
that's just one fail.
Okay, so just one fail, no other.
Nothing else.
Okay, so you're not quite sure. You have a feeling either way that's bad news.
Mm-hmm.
That they're looking for you guys.
How many of them are there?
There's probably a handful of stormtroopers, probably about 4, and there is the one Imperial officer.
Those aren't good bar fighting odds.
No, and they do have blaster rifles kind of lackadaisically. Some of them have it slung on their back. They clearly weren't expecting a firefight. If you guys did want to shoot out, you absolutely could. It might get you guys permanently banned. What do you guys do?
Well, Triz has had her finger on her trigger since the moment
Since
you
met
walked
the
in.
alien, even. You're just like, I don't like this guy. You guys have had some bad dealings with bartering up here in the spaceport.
Remy kind of reaches over to the other table and grabs a chair and slides it over and is like, "Officer, can I buy you a drink?"
Bruto just puts his head in his hands.
I'm sorry. we don't have time for drinks. Would you and your friends please stand and join us? We must talk outside.
I don't know, officer. Today's a drinking day. I don't have much time for outside today.
I've really had too many to dance.
One of the stormtroopers kind of starts to unsling his weapon. He said, "Shh, you heard them. You heard him."
I kind of like hold my hands up. I'm like, all right, take it easy. We're not like looking for any trouble. Just
So as you guys kind of look around, all the eyes on the canteen are kind of falling on you guys.
Should we take this outside?
Is that a vocal thing that Triz says? Mm-hmm. All right, so you guys head out. I'm assuming you guys head outside?
Captain's orders.
yeah.
All right, so the stormtroopers wait for you guys to get up. They gesture for you guys to go first. You guys get outside the cantina, and you have maybe a few moments to do something crazy and brash before these guys have you at gunpoint. What do you do? How did you get here? I'm assuming you guys still have 2 swoop bikes from the temple, and so that's definitely enough. You guys probably rode here.
They're also Imperial swoop bikes.
Shh. That's a minor thing. They're heavily modified.
Look, they've been heavily modified by Bruto and Arcee
I
since
needed
then.
things to do.
Yeah, they're pretty gutted and they're kind of janky. So yeah.
Had to pick off the rotting flesh though. Probably.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
took a lot of scrubbing to get that smell out of the seats.
Yeah.
Well,
Remy can try his classic pull a gun and shoot him first.
Well, hold
I have
on
a
a
quick
second.
try now.
All right, so you guys have moments. What do you do?
On the way out of the bar, since during this little occupation, I've been coming up with little useful
Knickknacks.
things.
Pipe bombs mostly.
Yeah, pipe bombs,
Just terrorist stuff.
like flashbangs type thing.
Yeah.
I think this would probably be a good time to use one of those.
I like how you go to use one and then you're like, ha! You flip out the light switches and you guys run. The whole cantina's
It's really high tech.
It's daytime, the light's shining through the window.
They'll never get
In
us.
fact, even the bartender's like, thank you!
Oh, you're right, we can save power.
Save on our energy credits.
It is midsummer. Our solar panels have been breaking down since the occupation. All right, so you have a device prepared.
Right.
Right, so what is that device?
It's like a small charge, except it's just blinding light. It's pretty much just a flashbang.
Okay, deal. I'm going to have you roll one of 2 choices.
Okay.
Resources are slim.
Right.
Especially to make high-tech flashbangs, which is why it's going to be a little
It's
bit
not
more
high-tech.
unreliable, right? So I can let you roll the force die to see how it works, or I'm going to let you roll a more difficult mechanics check.
I'll take the difficult mechanics for
Fair
500.
enough. Fair enough. Okay, so this is going to be a hard with 1 setback.
Hard with a setback?
Yep. And you do remove setbacks from mechanics, correct?
Yeah, because I'm a gearhead.
Yes, you are.
We all need hobbies. Or professions. Sorry, it's been a little while.
You're good. Alrighty, so you got 3 purples.
3 purples and 3 yellows.
Oh,
and
that's 2
holy
triumphs
shit.
on the dice.
So I have 2 triumph, 2 success, and 2 threat.
Okay, so you definitely handedly succeed. This thing went off way better than you thought it would. In fact, way better than you had mechanized it for. Like,
Oh, God!
oh, there's an
I should-
incendiary portion of this thing that I did not prepare for.
We should leave.
So I think you guys are walking out, and you kind of just chuck it over your
Yeah.
shoulder, getting ready. You guys are like racing
'Cause
towards the swoop bikes.
Cool
or
guys
something?
don't look at explosions.
No.
So it's
You-
just like, boop.
In fact, you're half tempted to keep walking.
So I was thinking the 2 threat is that I did want to see how it worked. So
Oh,
I turned back
yep.
and looked and it's like, oh my god!
Right, perfect. Yeah, so go ahead and take some strain from that. It's going to burn your retinas. But you're definitely not driving the swoop bike.
I'm too good at my
Or
job!
are you?
I don't
Yeah.
know, Captain, am I?
So here's what we're going to say. Normally, these kind of devices wouldn't affect the stormtroopers nearly as much because of their helmets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that this accidentally went off on like a UV or like a infrared wavelength
I
as
took
well.
it way out of where it was supposed to be.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that your triumph, one of your triumphs, completely incapacitates the officer. Obviously, that was the intention. With your successes, right? The 2 successes just creates a blinding flash.
Right.
Normally that would just delay them for like a round or something. This is going to completely shut down the officer. So he is not a combatant in this.
It was
what
like
would you,
neural overload. Like,
what would you like to use your other triumph for?
So you can use triumphs for,
So
we'll
we
say
could- we
like
could do-
furthering things along, right?
Yeah, so we can
So
do
how about we
mechanical
park
stuff.
close?
We could do. Yeah, and that's absolutely. Normally, I would recommend using it for something that would relate to the flashbang
okay,
sort of
so-
thing. So,
You said it had kind of a little bit of an incendiary.
that was a joke. I have an idea that I'm going to pitch to you. What if the nearby patrons are flashbang too, and they kind of
It's
start
just
stumbling
chaos.
around, and so it's just people running into the stormtroopers. The stormtroopers are less affected, so they're trying to throw civilians out of the way to get out of the tavern or the cantina. So you guys have an extra little bit of head start because of the innocent people that you'll have to maybe talk to next time you come into town.
They won't remember what we look like.
I'm pretty sure they might.
Just burned right out of them.
Yeah.
Well, you're not here now.
If they're not blinded
Yeah,
permanently.
not me.
Yeah.
They won't know what I look
Yeah.
like.
All right, so you guys are out of the cantina. You're parked fairly close, right? You guys are obviously a little bit more paranoid, being wanted, not coming to
That's
town
like
very
my
often.
middle name.
So what do you guys do? Do you guys separate, or do you just jump on your bikes and try and get out of there?
I think we should just jump on our bikes and try and...
Yeah, I kind of stick out like a sore thumb here.
Okay.
I
All
could
right.
see
So
splitting
just-
up, maybe just to try and distract them.
Okay.
Or,
Are
like,
you wanting to
move
split
away.
up after you get on your bikes and start heading out?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so you don't like drive right back to the hideout. Okay. So you guys jump on your bikes and you get a good head start. These troopers jump on 2 swoop bikes. There's just 2 troopers, 2 swoop bikes chasing behind you guys. So I'm going to have you guys roll initiative. You guys do have a significant head start, and this is a chase, but it also could evolve into combat. Okay.
Is this a cool?
This is definitely a
initiative?
cool. You guys are very aware that combat is afoot. All right, so there's this zipping shot of swoop bikes kind of burning out of town and hitting like wide open farmland. There's little nooks and crannies you guys can zip between and stuff like that. There's a forest you can head towards. I mean, you guys can kind of make up wherever you want to go to lose these guys within reason. We have 2 stormtroopers on speeder bikes right behind you guys. Arcee's driving 1 speeder bike with Triz back facing with her blaster rifle, and we've got Remy driving the other one with Bruto rear facing, and you have a blaster rifle as well?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so you guys are
And slightly blinded.
just
Just one eye.
yeah. Triz is just gonna yell at you which ones to shoot because you yeah.
Shoot!
Yeah. Arcee's definitely going to make sure that they're in front so you don't shoot us. Perfect. All right, you guys, we did roll initiative. You guys all go before the stormtroopers. So you guys do have a little bit of head start. If you just kind of floor it, you might be able to lose them pretty quickly, or you can kind of stick it to them and maybe scrap. Remember, resources are limited, so even if you blow one up, it's still almost like half tempting to like scavenge their remains. As morbid as that might be, but so there's kind of opportunities. You can get farther out of town and kind of take them out, or you can just try and lose them to prevent any further heat from hitting you guys. What do you do?
Oh, I definitely think we should take him out of town.
Yeah.
So that we have a
Yeah.
chance to get at him.
Perfect. All right.
Because if we can salvage the bikes too.
Okay, so I'm going to have Remy kind of go first and
Okay.
do a planetary piloting to try and kind of get us to a good spot early on.
What's my difficulty, boss?
So you haven't done too many tear out of towns, getting it out in the fields. I'm
I
just going
don't
to
know.
make
It
it.
is Remy.
I'm going to make it a average check. You're
Okay.
normally pretty good at swoop racing, which would normally be an easy, but you're less expecting this kind of thing to happen with this easy deal RC setup. So I'm just going to have it be an average, no setbacks, no nothing.
Okay. It's a chase, but I'm not going to take the shortcut because I kind of want them to follow us a little.
Okay, sounds good.
He's used to just running away from farmers after.
And I think
Dealing
there's
with
something to
daughters.
do with like difficulty based off speed, but you know,
Yeah, I
whatevs.
remember.
Whatevs.
We're
gonna
winging it.
We're gonna break the rules. Tell us about how much you hate that in the comments below.
I got 2 success.
2 success. All right. So what did you want your success to be? Like you're swoop racing your head. You want them to follow you, so you're not burning them.
Yeah.
But-
I'm playing it cool where, like, we're pulling away, kind of, but it's like...
They can still see
They're
you,
always
and if you
seeing-
turn, you slow down just a little bit until they turn, and then you
Yeah.
speed up. Yeah.
They always see me
Classic.
going around the next corner.
Yep.
Just
Oh
fly
man.
casual.
And
but
nothing
don't look
grinds
like
a
you're flying
stormtrooper's
casual.
gear. Yeah, nothing grinds their gears like just seeing the corner turns. Oh man! All right, so are you're pretty much on the understanding that wait to shoot first? Okay. I mean, this isn't our first rodeo, but it
No.
is our second. Okay.
We survived the first. That's
Yep.
what's important.
So now I'm gonna roll for Arcee because he's probably straggling. Right. I don't have Arcee's character sheet. I'm mostly just making his shit up as we go. But I'm probably gonna edit this out.
Agility
Maybe
3
not.
is
Who
probably
knows?
a good place to start.
Yeah. He has 1 rank in planetary piloting because he's Arcee.
Well, and he's driven
he
swoop
might have
bikes
2
before.
because he was a swoop bike recon,
Oh fuck yeah!
right?
This is when you make up shit while on the fly, and his difficulty is going to be 2, and he's going to have a setback because
he
he's
might
trying to
actually
keep
do
up
really
with
good
the great
about this.
Remy Novus. All right.
Can I add that to my character sheet?
The great
great
Remy Novus.
Okay, we haven't established titles yet.
All right, so I have 2 threat.
Did you count that extra success?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I have 2 threat. So Arcee is having a hard time keeping up, and these troopers are probably starting to open fire. Right? They're lining up shots, and he kind of collides with something as he like turns and he scrapes the speeder bike like exhaust port against someone's like land speeder. He's like, "Sorry." He calls out. All right, we've got 2 more PC slots. What are Bruto and Triz doing?
Are the stormtroopers shooting?
Not yet. They're lining up shots, though. You can see they're powering up weapons. We're still, like, barely out of town, too.
Can I try and draw their fire?
Yeah.
So like they would want to pursue us more. So like pop more shots back at them. Not
Yeah,
trying
just
to
aim
hit,
wildly.
but- Yeah.
So this will still be a ranged light. Your successes are to narrowly miss them to get them tunnel visualing. So each success equals a miss, but if you fail terribly, you might shoot one of them. In fact, I'm gonna make it a red. I'll flip a dark side point to a light just to upgrade a purple to a red for you.
What's the range?
Yeah, so the range is going to be because you're on Remy's swoop bike and he's driving pretty good. I'm gonna make it a long range.
Is that 3?
Yeah. So it's 2 purples and a red.
Okay. And I'm gonna
All right.
aim so that I can.
Yep, I'm gonna give you a setback just because you are on the back of a speeder bike. You have no idea where he's turning.
He's a great driver.
He's a great driver, but it's hard to be on the back seat facing backwards. No despair, alas.
I have 2 success with 3 threat.
Okay, so your threat. I'm gonna say that your threat is that you almost shoot us.
Oops.
And so that's going to give Triz, whatever she does, a setback. That'll be two threat, and then the other threat I'll make you take as a strain from a shooting captain.
Whoops.
Man, did you see that blaster bolt? Came out of nowhere.
There must be other imps out here.
Everybody pick up your visual scanning.
I didn't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, man, we lost those imps for sure.
Are you shooting?
All right, so you did succeed. So I'm going to say that with your 2 successes, you can kind of tunnel both of them a little bit, or really tunnel one. It'd probably be better for one, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Just thematically. All right, so one of them is just honed in on you guys, focusing. It is his life's goal, all of a sudden, to bring this rebel scum to justice.
And I'll just say over my shoulder, Remy, we've got one.
You killed one?
I see through his. I see through his helmet that his eyes have narrowed.
Through Remy's?
No,
I was like,
Stormtrooper.
how? Oh, through his helmet? Man, Platoonians
really
must have
focused.
crazy vision. Through black visors and everything. All right, Triz, you are the last PC to go.
So I want.
Bruto almost shot you.
It wasn't me.
Sometimes friends shoot friends.
That's true. That's true.
Especially when trying to lure stormtroopers.
Into fateful ambushes.
Or when arguing on the ship.
Yeah,
So-
we'll just put little asterisks. at the end
Now,
of
ideally, too, you are the best shot. You could maybe try and ionize one of them. Do you have any sort of ionize, or not ionize, like stun?
Stun.
Yeah.
it. Our weapons have stun settings.
Yeah, so you could try and stun. Now, Arcee is driving a little bit worse, which means the distance is closer, which means it's even easier to stun.
Okay.
Is that the
Yeah.
winner? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a ranged heavy still.
All right.
Can we get another yellow?
Yeah.
And really, just stun is just declaring it's stun damage, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just flicking the switch and going with a whop instead of a boost.
All right, so the distance is going to be 2 purples. I am going to upgrade the difficulty just inherently, so it's going to be a purple and a red, because you guys are on swoop bikes and you're this close to each other.
Can I aim?
Of course. And that setback was from Bruto almost shooting you. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, let's see what we got.
Holy
A lot
shit.
of successes.
Damn, man. Like, a lot of...
Okay, so let's use these 2 dice to cancel each other.
I
And
see
we've
4
got
success and...
we've got 4
1
success,
threat.
3 threat.
Or no,
3 advantage. Sorry,
oh.
3 advantage.
Just 1 advantage, because these 2
Oh,
cancel.
yep, that's true. Alright, so 4 success is a lot of success,
That's a
and
lot
that
of
translates into damage on your stun. So what's your weapon's base damage?
9?
9.
9, and then you add 1 for each success, so you do 13 stun damage, which is enough to incapacitate the stormtrooper on the back of the swoop bike.
You gooed his face.
So now what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you roll a destiny die, and this indicates how well the speeder bike survives the guy falling off of it. Double white is it comes to a complete stop perfectly intact. 1 white is it clips something. 1 black is it crashes, which you got. So it's going to crash, but some checks can scavenge stuff, but it'll be very limited resources if you guys do want to do that, okay?
Just tow it back!
Alright, so you guys have already gotten rid of one of your pursuers pretty close out of town. So do you guys want to keep fleeing or kind of circle around so you guys don't wander very far from this wreck? What's the game plan? Meanwhile, this guy who's tunneling you guys, his buddy falls off the back almost like he was invisibly clotheslined. He's not having it, so he's going to line up his shot. So it's just going to be 3 greens. It's going to be 3 purples. I'm going to take 2 setbacks from the tunnel vision, 1 boost to aim, and I'll flip a destiny point. Nope, I flipped it the other way. I was like, oh,
Hey,
I'll
now.
get more. Nope.
No, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's all good, man. We're good. We're pop square, pop square. All right, so got a lot of threat, like all the threat ever. So there's, I do succeed, and 2, 3 threat. So
Let's go
success.
to Tingle.
So you guys are going to take some damage,
It's probably me. 'cause
and it's probably going to be you. Yep.
I'm right on the back of the bike.
I'll let you guys pick. Is it the bike, which has very limited hit points, or
I'll
is it
take it.
Bruto? Okay. All right. So, yeah.
I gave him, when I shot at him, I gave him the old point at the eyes, point at him.
Yeah. So you take 12 damage. Gave the old point at the eye, point at him, shot in the shoulder, for 12 damage.
Ouch.
Yep. So remember to reduce that by soak.
Stings.
That's probably going to hurt a little bit. To be fair, you just got shot by an underbelly cannon of a speeder bike.
Ow!
Right. So he does have some threat. So I'm actually going to make that either a pretty big setback on chasing you guys, or a pretty big boost on outmaneuvering him or anything like that. He was lining up his shot so hard that he kind of got sloppy driving. Okay. So we'll kind of set that off to the side. Let you guys decide what to do with that. All right. Top of the second round. You guys can go again. Who's going first? And if you ever want Arcee to go first, just let me know. Generally, I'm going to reserve him for later because you guys are the stars.
We're kind of on the outskirts of town.
Yeah, you guys have really turned it up. I mean, we're going to be pretty fast and loose with
I think
the
we should take
terrain.
him out.
Yeah.
Because that hurt.
That's
Yeah. Things are getting
seeing-
It
serious
was
a
right
little
in the
bit. Yeah.
shoulder. I got
So,
stabbed in so much.
knowing
too.
that he's shooting from like the blaster on his bike, can I try to outmaneuver him and like drop behind him? So
Oh,
we can
absolutely.
Get, like,
The classic Luke stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do it, and I'll just
Yeah.
jump on his bike and fall off and die.
Yeah.
You might want to shoot him while we're close.
All right. So this is going to be a competitive piloting check, right? You're trying to
Yes.
outsmart him. So he's just going to be 3 purples
3
for
purple?
you. Yeah. He's not trained. He's not a great pilot. He was just merely doing escort duty for his boss.
All right.
Plus, he's borrowing Kevin's speeder, and Kevin's got
Oh, and you
all
do have a
weird
boost.
controls.
Because he's flying sloppily.
Okay.
And then this is canceled.
Can I get a blue die? Oh, that didn't do much.
I think it did just enough, though.
Yeah. So that goes. I've got 1 success and 2 advantage,
Okay. So what
and I'd
would you
like to give the advantage to Bruto to line up his
to
shot.
shoot? Perfect. All right. So you have a boost. And so you basically hammer on the brakes. He goes flying right by. You do the Bruto classic pan and turn. And you're shooting regular or you're shooting stun?
Stun.
Okay. All right, roll it.
Nice.
This might be a thing you guys use a destiny point for.
I'm going to aim. What is my difficulty? We're short now because we're like right next to him?
At minimum, I'd say it would medium. Short is like crashing into each other with speeder bikes because it's still personal range,
Yeah,
man.
I'd like to upgrade this.
Maybe it might be starship scale or something. We'll
fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post.
I think their
are you
silhouette
flipping one?
size is still personal scale.
Yeah. So you're still pretty close. It is going to be a setback because of the speed. Yeah. So I think I'm going to do one more setback too because you weren't expecting Remy to come to a complete stop. but you immediately realize what he's doing.
Yeah.
So that'll be your dice pool.
Okay. Oh, so many.
That yellow is still legal. Yeah, that's part of the dice pool.
Okay, so I have 2 success and 4th advantage.
Okay. So what's your base damage?
9, so 11.
Okay. That will be enough to stun him unconscious off the bike. And you have how many advantage?
4.
4. Okay, what would you like to use with your advantage?
Can I use that to overload the system on the bike? So it just kind of coasts down?
Sure. What we'll do is same kind of rules for the force die, right? That luck, but I'll shift each one category up. So if you get a double white, then it becomes a triple white. Okay.
Triple white?
That's not even legal, Martin.
I got a single.
All right. So you got technically double white now, which is it's in perfect condition. Okay. So
This stormtrooper was really smart. He clipped that thing
Yeah,
onto
like
his
the-
wrist.
Oh, yeah.
So when he falls off it,
This is not the first time he's fallen off a speeder bike this
He doesn't
week.
want to have to walk as far.
Well, and there's so much paperwork. You know these things.
So much.
Yeah.
They had an OSHA inspection too, and
my
they
gosh.
mandate the clip.
Yeah.
I mean-
Dantooine's under crackdown, and it's more so because of rules
The only
complications.
one worse than the
a really
Empire
big,
is the Empire auditors.
Yeah, but
a
Imperial
really
Audit.
big, expensive space station just blew up. The
Oh,
Empire's
man.
kind of in debt. They're cutting back
jeez.
spending.
Yeah.
They have to show the workforce that they're making efforts to increase safety.
Yeah. Well, and there's still the blue milk shortage too.
Oh,
So I think
man.
the economy's
Tough
just in
economic
recession.
times.
It's just
It's
a rough year.
In
And they're about
recession.
to lose another speeder bike.
BBY0, just
Oh,
Yeah.
terrible
just-
year.
It was a bad
It
one.
might as well be
Or
BBY.
ABY0.
Yeah, it's ABY0
Wait,
now.
Yeah.
Who came up with this convention? What historian was like, the Death Star was destroyed. Let's reset the calendars. All right.
Click.
So both stormtroopers knocked unconscious. The second you guys got that one, Arcee stopped, swooped around to the one that we damaged. You guys can scrap this one. You guys can basically set up to tow, and now you have a third perfectly intact Imperial speeder bike. I'm going to have you and Arcee roll a kind of group perception check.
Okay.
He is perceptive, so I'm going to basically just upgrade one of your greens to a yellow for free,
Can we take the Imperial too?
if you
We
want.
can always use spare parts.
We're in war, man.
It's a war! I might need another lung.
If you do kidnap, that will increase your heat. We're kind of doing a kind of weird system of like threat and response. Kind of like GTA stars, if you will.
Yeah.
Just plug his belt.
Right now, you guys are 1 star.
His belt in his helmet.
Can I enter the code Rhino?
Maybe.
I get a
don't
tank!
remember.
No, don't blow
I am
yourself
a tank,
up!
mate.
We're driving!
I am a tank.
Alright, so what is...
Perception.
Okay, so that's cunning. I have 2 yellows. What was Arcee's?
So he just upgrades a green to a yellow. If you're already capped, then you add a green.
Okay.
And this will just be a 2 purple difficulty. And I'll give you 1 setback because you guys are in a hurry. You don't want to stay at the crash site.
It's looking for important stuff while still being quick.
I think that's a no dice. Lack of success with 2 advantage
Yep.
by my eye.
Yeah.
Yep, so you don't find anything worth salvaging. Okay, you're not going to get any great barter stuff out of this. To advantage, let's say that you find on the unconscious stormtrooper nearby that he has 2 power packs, and power packs are gold to the rebels right now. So those are actually worth more than anything
We'll be able to eat
could
for another week.
scavenge off of the speeder bike. So you grab those 2 power packs, you guys hop back on your speeder bikes, and you guys retreat off into the wilderness in Arcee's doomsday bunker. You guys pull up. You guys head down, and you kind of return to home. I'm going to have each one of you develop a aspect of Arcee's doomsday bunker that is something that could either be something your character notices. Yeah, it's something your character kind of notices that's odd, or that's perfect, or that's really so Arcee. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
There is a calf hound rug.
It's one of the big ones, too.
Yeah. Don't worry about the cat hounds. I make rugs out of them all the time. And once they tried to make a rug out of me. Perfect. He's got a cat hound rug. It is beautiful. It's so lush. It's like the most pristine thing kept in this underground bunker. All right, what else?
So I imagine that he's got a little... So this being like his doomsday survived the Empire bunker, I imagine he's got a small like garage and way out where we've kind of been storing our bikes.
Okay.
And in there he's got a couple of like campaign flags from some of his ventures during the war up like on the walls.
Deal. So he's a little bit of a nostalgia
a little
guy.
Bit sentimental,
okay.
But
fair enough. And if
more
anybody
bitter
asks about him,
the end.
he doesn't tell you
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. Don't worry about us.
It's common knowledge.
Don't ask about Fallujah, damn it.
War.
All right. What does Remy notice?
In his kitchen, he's got a large collection of powdered drink mixes, with unique flavors that are no longer like available, and a lot of them are definitely over 16 years old.
But they still make water taste better than water.
That's what he does in his spare time, is just like mixing new flavor combinations. He's a mixologist.
Yep. Strawberry milk still gets Remy sick every time, though.
He can't stomach it. He's too used to the blue stuff.
Yep. Do you think that has a different flavor than regular milk?
Or texture.
Yes. It comes out of a bantha.
It tastes blue.
Does it taste like blueberries, though, is my question.
No, I don't think blueberries. I think it just tastes like blue.
What is blue? Is that blue raspberry?
I don't know, man.
What does blue taste like? What does blue taste like? Star Wars. Okay, back to it. Right. So Arcee is pretty excited. He's holding this power core. This is like his precious all of a sudden. You guys kind of drop your bags, unwind.
Triz bleed on the couch.
Triz shows Bruto the power packs. You guys all get really excited. This is currency.
Yeah.
This is wealth. You guys kind of sit down, and Bruto, Arcee calls you over to kind of take a look and help with this droid real quick. So as you come over, you're kind of wounded. He says, "Oh, don't worry about that wound, man. Once we get my friend up and operational, he'll fix you up just right."
It really kind of burns.
Kind of grabs this tarp and he pulls it off, and there's a B2 series super battle droid, and he's like perfectly stiff. These kind of big, chunky. They have their arm up. He has the blaster turrets. I caught this at the end of the war.
Watch out for that tri-blaster.
Listen, once we get this power core in here, he'll be back operational.
You caught it?
Yeah.
How did you catch this?
Have you not seen me in action, mate? I'm a regular Rambo. I'm a regular John Rambo, if that was ever a reference to
Who's
me,
that?
mate. I don't know. But it sounds like a pretty badass name, is it? I mean, not as badass as Arcee. They should name a car after me, I bet.
I bet a lot of them.
I digress.
Arcee, are you really sure you want me to turn this
I
thing on?
hot-wired him. He's okay.
Look, okay, maybe I should take a look at his hot wiring.
He gives the rebels. He'll give the Imperials hell.
He'll give us hell.
Oh, no, he's fine.
Arcee, you're a clone trooper.
What is that
They were
supposed
programmed to kill you.
Listen, me, we're friends. We're good friends.
That was like priority number one.
Listen, until his power core ran out, we were capital friends.
How long ago was that?
Oh, carry the one.
2 months.
15 years ago.
So you're saying he's been sitting here inactive, dormant, drained for 15 years, and you think your hot wiring and programming is going to be intact?
Why wouldn't it be?
Because when computers lose their power, they reset.
No, that's not true, mate.
These are just big computers with guns.
Just because you speak to time chronometer, you have to reset the date and time. The time is...
Oh, God, already?
The day has slipped by.
I really need to go check my Space Bay auctions.
Boy, where are you having those shipped to, mate? Oh, P.O. box.
I have a P.O. box.
Are they coming here from off-world? Because there's an Imperial embargo.
I have things I can't get on Dantooine that I need.
And they can't get to Dantooine with the Imperial blockade. Where are you having these sent to?
Just don't worry about it.
Remy walks in from the other room,
Yeah,
and he sees
your
the
battle droid.
and he's like, he doesn't say anything,
Yeah.
but like a mind bubble pops up, and it's like,
that the comic sees, but not the movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, we've been here for like 6 weeks in this bunker.
How
Have we not noticed this?
It was under a tarp.
He's had tons of stuff under tarps. We got tired of looking.
Yeah, it's like an
Everything
old
has
person's
been under
house.
tarp.
It's like an old person's haunted house in here.
His couch has plastic on it, doesn't it?
Listen, Arcee has a oh yeah,
Everything.
and he has a no shoes rule, even though it's an underground bunker. You know, like
It has dirt floors, no
the first
shoes.
business he tried to
listen,
open
it's
was
very
like tarp
Nemoidian.
sales.
My bunker is very Nemoidian. Okay.
The first business he tried to open was like tarp sales. And so he didn't succeed. So he's just got all this extra inventory.
But the thing is, now tarp sales might be through the roof.
But he can't bear to untarp all his stuff.
No, it's too much sentimental value.
It might get dusty.
Yeah. I don't know how long we're going to be in here, but when we leave, I want to make sure I have enough tarps to cover all the valuables. All right.
Arcee, nothing
Anyways.
is valuable here.
Bruto, I'm not... Look, we need my friend back online. Help me out.
Can I do a mechanics or computers check to verify the programming real quick?
You can do one to put the power source in.
Push the button. Okay.
Here, just put it in his back.
It's like,
You're a lot more
all
qualified.
right. I'll, yeah, I guess I am pretty qualified to change batteries.
Yep, just put it in his back. Everything's fun.
Do you want me to roll a check for this?
Sure. It'll be an easy mechanics check. Oh, you have a lot of mechanicking.
That's
And
right.
you have one setback because it's a B2 series
Okay,
battle
I will
droid.
move it because I'm a gearhead.
Fair enough.
And I do nothing but read manuals in my spare time in 6 weeks in a bunker.
I was more going that setback for the nervousness, not the
Oh,
actual
okay.
mechanics of it.
I'll keep that one then.
That's more just like a stress
Like, I
mechanic.
don't know if
yeah.
I want to turn this on.
I really this is a bunker. I don't really want to open the door. Did you fail? Did you
So-
fail to put a battery in a droid?
It was a targeted fail. Not a lack of success with 2 advantage. I'm very hesitant
I'm
about
not
this.
gonna put this battery. And then
Like,
so
So
Arcee.
I'm sitting here watching the whole thing, and I just kind of wave my hand and I say, "Hey, Bruto, don't worry about it." And I'm gonna
Oh,
influence
hell
him
no.
with calm.
Fuck! I don't have willpower.
It doesn't
so how
matter.
does this is the first time we've seen Remy use influence.
Nope,
Nope.
I got a black.
Okay. So
can
I
really
can't
use that.
influence him with calm.
so you can
Does that
only
like instill the opposite?
you can double down on his nervousness. He's gonna go pee in the corner like a bad dog.
It's just anxiety.
Listen, nobody let me outside after the speeder bike race. You have to admit that was very exciting. Nobody let me go
Couldn't go
outside.
right away.
I tried peeing on the speeder bike, but you guys said no. We need to tow it. Listen, there's a lot of mistakes were made. Okay.
That was my bike.
So you do have 2 advantage. Is that right?
Yeah, lack of success too.
Okay. So what do you want to do with your advantage? You don't put the battery in. You're like, I have a bad feeling about this.
And someone just tried to tamper with my brain.
You don't know
You
what
don't know
that is
that.
yet.
You just are like, why do you make that weird hand motion?
I'll just it's like hi Remy.
Hey, don't worry.
Okay.
It's a battle droid. I'm gonna worry a
It's
little
a
bit.
battle droid. These things are bad. Okay.
What do you want to do with your advantage, if
I'll
anything?
just heal strain.
Okay. So you're like, I'm not putting this battery in. Nobody's putting this battery in. Arcee grabs the battery out of your hand. He's like, fuck it, I'll do it. Griffin. So he goes to work for a little while, and you kind of step back around, and you're just like looking at it, and you see its eyes kind of start to glowly dim red, and it goes.
Oh, God,
And
no,
it's-
I just died.
Yeah. And you hear its like shoulder click back, and you hear this click sound almost immediately, and you kind of dive.
Arcee, he just tried to shoot.
No, he's fine, mate.
He just tried to shoot.
You're looking like a
I
a
know
space
what
horse's
an
ass.
unpowered blaster sounds
Here,
like.
Bruto, get up. So
No.
you're kind of looking at it, and the B2 battle droid is just kind of staring straight ahead, and he kind of lowers his arm at you, and where the cannon hole of the blaster is, there is this like weird kind of plastic shape or whatever. And he kind of reaches up, the battle droid reaches up, grabs it, and pulls it out, and he offers it to you, and it's like a space lollipop.
I don't know what to do about this.
Don't just stand there, take it from him. He's trying to offer you a gift. You look very nervous right now. Take the space lollipop.
Just kind of like cautiously reach out and take it.
And as you take the lollipop, the droid says, "Get well soon."
Thanks.
Now get up, you're embarrassing yourself. As Triz walks in, Bruto's like unwrapping a lollipop on the ground.
And there's an active B2 battle droid.
What?
So, for those of you who don't know, B2s are the super battle droids in like the Clone Wars. They're the kind of bigger ones that are hardier.
They're like the gray instead of the clunky like brown ones.
Yep, they're like a gray blue, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel's pulling up a picture.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he just shot a lollipop out of his laser cannon. Yeah.
Where's mine?
One more comes out of the cannon, you just kind of grab
Just
it.
takes
Yeah.
it and
I guess.
Yeah, this is Doc. I reprogrammed him to be a medical battle droid.
Oh,
Just a medical droid, I guess.
a medical battle droid.
He can do battle and be a medical droid. He's a medical battle droid.
You know, Arcee, this little lollipop.
Does he have more lollipops?
It's giving me a little idea.
Get well soon.
I could take and put a little gas compressor on the back of that, and then he could launch the lollipops.
No, Doc is solemnly sworn not to hurt a single individual, even with a space lollipop.
Well,
These
I
lollipops
could
are
tune it
15
down.
years old.
Oh, that explains the taste.
Okay.
I thought it was just hot
Next
candy.
on the agenda, new lollipops for Doc.
Remy unwraps it.
Honestly, not bad.
You know, it tastes a lot like hot candy. I had this a lot as a kid, so...
Tastes like spleenberry.
A what?
A spleenberry. You guys have never had spleenberry before?
Get well soon.
There aren't many berries in the deserts.
You just couldn't buy it? I mean, they sell them in the store.
You remember how I grew up, right? They don't really give slaves money.
Fair enough. Then Remy, like, I'm gonna go take a shower.
Don't use all the hot water, damn it. We're under Imperial opposition.
Arcee, I told you I can fix that.
The hot water heater?
You just turn the knob from 1 to 6.
Yeah,
you
and
get
then
more
my
hot
power
water.
bill's gonna go through the roof. We don't have credits for that.
Look, this is like the cable we were talking about. You
Oh
know?
my god, we're not getting the upgrades.
I'm telling you, I can just make it happen. You don't have to know it's taking place.
Is this-
You can have that plausible
Listen,
deniability.
is this Bruto talking, or is this Remy talking right now?
Okay, maybe Remy promised me a few favors if I can get this taken care
Triz,
of.
settle this argument. Do we need more channels, or do we need to focus on the tasks at hand?
Arcee, you don't
Getting
have, you can leave
Doc
this place.
more space lollipops. Hey, turn down the music! Your data pad's gonna die, and then you're gonna have to charge it, and it's gonna drain our generators.
No, it's fine. It's waterproof.
Oh, God. That's not the waterproof data pad. Wait, where's my data pad? Remy! Scene? All right, so so we're gonna go ahead and roll a medicine check or something to heal your wound.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
Since
a
we're
thing.
probably sparing or saving all the back that we can.
I would say we're almost out of Bacta, if anything.
We can't be almost out of Bacta. I'll give up cable for Bacta. Just as long as I can download enough stuff from Spaceflix on my datapad before. What's the difficulty?
Fuck if I remember.
How about 2?
Yeah.
Since it's not a crit or anything, it's just like applying.
Yeah, you have tools and stuff. You're
Yeah, I
good.
just,
There's no
Just
urgency.
take out my plasma
Yep.
cutter.
2 purples.
2 purples.
Isn't there like a detriment for doing medical to yourself?
Probably.
A setback, I think.
Setback.
Setback it is.
We're just making up all the fucking
If you
rules
want, I
tonight.
can go and find them. They're in the book somewhere.
We're lucky we're rolling with the colored dice and not with the ones with the numbers.
I am not a doctor. I fix things, not people.
All
I
right,
have 2
deal.
fail and 4 advantage.
So you don't heal yourself, but the sucker tastes pretty good.
You know what the problem was? I took
You got shot
the
by a
muscle
laser
relaxin before I applied the bandage. So I feel really good about it, and it doesn't hurt. But
there's no progress towards healing. Yeah, yeah,
I just mixed up the order of operations.
yeah, yeah. And then so while you're healing yourself, Doc comes over because that's a thing now,
Yeah.
and
Hey,
he's
Doc.
like, "What is the ailment?"
Blaster wound.
Medical advice: seek cover. Ha ha ha. He turns and walks away.
Thanks, Doc.
Oh, Doc's a real comedian. I'm just gonna check our campaign notes. Yep, we're right on course. We're right on par for the course.
Get off Dantooine tonight.
All right, so we're gonna have like a kind of montage, right? We spend a lot of time in this kind of obscure bunker. It's very earthen, over the top. It's kind of a mound. It does open into a sort of cave where we hide a couple speeder bikes.
We've got a bat cave?
Similar.
Similar.
It's very much so like the garage that you mentioned is
Right.
the only thing that's level with the ground. It has like a cave that kind of rolls over it, so you guys have to kind of like walk the speeder bikes out before you hop on and shoot them out. But
Arcee really put a lot of recon work in before he picked this location.
yep, and he had it secretly built. It took him several years to do so. He just kind of wanted to build somewhere to really disappear off the grid, just in case he needed to, in case his past caught up with him. Now, different circumstances, different company. He definitely built this for maybe one, maybe 2 people. So it does get quite cramped often. It does get quite irritable with each other quite often. Basically, staff meetings are held outside for the sake of the bunker.
We still check weapons.
we still leave weapons in the bunker. Yep.
We're not on the ship.
So, what? Give us a brief kind of indication of how things have changed over the last couple weeks. What you guys have been up to, and kind of a snapshot of what things you guys do in your downtime, as we do like a musical montage that kind of catches us up on bunker life on the wilderness of Dantooine. Popcorn, anyone?
Okay, yeah. So Remy's montage is played to action music, a la Eye of the Tiger, except it'd be like Eye of the Vornskir or something.
Yeah. And there's 0 running, 0 sit-ups, 0 push-ups.
It's a whole lot of lounging on the couch with your feet up.
It's the Eye of the Vornskir, it's the thrill of the fight.
Pulls out his data pad.
Alright, well, sorry.
Yeah.
An actual montage.
And it shows him training like Jedi-ish stuff a little bit with the Revan holocron. It shows him like climbing a tree for no reason, and like just without his shirt on and a headband that we don't know where he got it from.
Okay.
And then like doing a puzzle and playing Dejeric against Doc. And
It's
like
just like a 25-piece puzzle. Too. Like, it's
Yeah.
it's actually 2 puzzles because Arcee like mixed the boxes one time.
Yeah,
Oh,
to save
what
on
a
space.
dick. What a dick. This guy deserves to die a horrible death.
And then it just kind of cycles through that a few times, and like the puzzles build a little more. Like Remy goes from getting like whooped at the Dejeric to like one where he takes like a good move, and then like Doc gets mad and just kind of storms off.
Doc flips the table like Doc has a real temper.
Oh man, you gotta watch that table.
Jedi scum.
Yeah.
And then
I do like the idea too that like as you're training with the Revan holocron, the music totally comes to a complete stop, and the holocron like powers down and then restarts because it's kind of faulty.
yeah.
And so let's just touch on that a little bit. One of the things that we've learned about the holocron in the last couple weeks, through Bruto and through Remy's interactions with it, is it's actually a hastily made copy of the original Revan holocron. It's carbon dated or whatever the fuck. Star Wars uses for that to
Plastic carbon.
still be several thousand years old. This thing was copied and forged shortly or more relatively after Revan's holocron was actually made. So it's a lot older than it is newer, and it's a lot closer to the age of the original knowledge that it would have been. However, whoever copied this made some changes to it and also hastily did it with a lack of experience, and there are limitations on what this thing teaches you, and your interactions with it sometimes come to a halting crash. So it can be a very frustrating experience when you're trying to sit down for a lesson of the day, and the Revan holocron only generally tries to teach you one lesson per day as a means of discipline and focusing on the knowledge at hand, and sometimes he won't even give you a new lesson until you take a test, sort of wisdom test on the previous lesson.
Remy's terrible at tests, so progress is slow.
Yeah, progress is very slow. It's only been a couple weeks too. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and Space Rome sure hell wasn't built in a day, you know? Right. Is that Remy's montage, or is there anything
Yep.
else? Okay. I think it just ends...
I think it's funny, like, the holocron, like, powers down, and, like, the music, like, record scratches, and Remy, like, goes over and, like, taps it a couple times, and then, like, the holocron pops up, and the music, like...
Yeah, so that's halfway through your montage. Your montage ends with Doc flipping the table into darkness, and then the darkness opens with someone else's montage.
Captain?
Yeah.
Okay. So, mine is a whole lot of just, like, anxiety work. It's like, I have nothing to do, and my ship is gone, and that really bugs me.
Yep.
Because I just have work I need to do on the ship, and I can't.
And God knows, the Jedi, Sith, whatever you worship in this universe, God knows what Kreeblik is doing to that thing.
God, yeah.
In the underbelly, in
He's
between
had,
the walls.
like, 7 or 8 months.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Alone.
Yeah.
Maybe
All the
we'll get
wires
really
are
lucky and
so
he might actually fix something. But
On
I'm
accident.
going to have
yeah.
a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I think the ship is gonna be in worse shape than when you guys bought it when you get it back. Between Varvox and Kreeblik.
So I'm like
What's the worst that could happen?
making repairs around the bunker, trying to make it a little more of a living space and a little less of like a multi-story bachelor pad for a like ration hoarder.
Yeah, pretty much.
And occasionally going by and stealing pieces from Remy's puzzle and switching them with the one I'm carrying.
Perfect.
And then just reading more. It's just a lot of quiet time.
Yeah.
With Bruto.
And I know that when you sneak into town, we had talked about you potentially trying to get information on where Var is.
Right, so when I do get the rare opportunity to go into town, because I can't blend in as easy as Arcee or Remy can, I do kind of slice into some Wi-Fi or whatever, and I do some outreach. I try and get out, see what's happening, get recent news, and try and hunt down a little blue-skinned devil who commandeered our ship.
Yeah.
See if we can find any information about where they've gone or where they might be, any ports they might stop at.
Exactly. And you are in luck because every Thursday, 2 Klatooinian merchants come through the Northern Reach spaceport. So Thursday is like a big
I
going
can
to
go
town
out
day because you look like the others. Yeah, they all look the
Where's
same.
your brother?
Yeah.
Bathroom.
And when there's 3 of you, then you get out of town real quick.
It always goes down that like they look at me and I look at them and we both split and go different directions.
Scatter. Perfect. All right, Triz.
All right, so Triz, she does a lot of just cleaning her gun all the time.
Is that a euphemism?
Probably.
Oh, jeez.
Some real implied air quotes there.
Considering she doesn't shoot her gun all that often now that Grindo's got it. Oh, jeez.
I was once.
Anyways, yep.
Jeez. So,
Sorry. Star Wars.
Cleaning your gun.
she does that mostly just to be doing something. She goes a little stir crazy when she has to stay in the bunker because she, she's fine if she's like on a ship or something, but when they're underground, I think she gets a little claustrophobic.
Okay.
So she tries to distract herself from that. She'll go into town whenever she gets the opportunity, which isn't super often, but Arcee is helping her get some possible connections.
Yeah,
So.
facilitating. So in your montage, we do see you kind of heading into town and checking like a dead drop point where you do have a rebel contact who reaches out to you. And we're going to cut back to that here in a moment. Arcee's montage is a lot of push-ups, quite the opposite of
Real
Remy's
training?
joke montage. You see him doing some blaster rifle practice with you guys, teaching you how to shoot better, showing you which bugs and berries you can't eat. And you guys are like, I'm not eating bugs. We've got rations. We've got rations in the bunker. And he's like, fuck it,
Crunch.
So there's also him helping you with the mechanic stuff, him fine-tuning weapons. But most of his montage is him back at the store in town. He is not suspected to be a sympathizer nearly as much. He has been seen around town with you guys a little bit. He is still using the ruse or the cover that he has helped several different individuals with expeditions and stuff like that. So the Imperials swing by his shop from time to time, but more so seeking knowledge of surviving the elements and making more efficient paths between spaceports and their Imperial facility nearby and stuff like that. So
I just see like every third image in his montage is him like standing at the counter wiping it down, or like hanging up more ropes.
it's pretty, yeah. But that's the sad part is because it's Imperial lockdown. There's only 2 ropes, but he keeps like rezoning his storefront and stuff. Yeah,
They'll just be like push-ups, eating bugs, squeaks, squeaks.
Yep. So it's a pretty depressing setup. And I think what we're going to do is we cut back to Triz's montage, and near the very end, she kind of uncovers this like hidey hole, and she reaches down, and there's a communicator. And she basically has this wide grin on her face, knowing that it's time for the rebels to put you guys to work on a mission that you guys have been kind of lining up for a little while. And I think with us under Imperial oppression on Dantooine and kind of hanging out in the bunker, we're going to call that our very first session of the episode 5. So we will see you back for more Legacy of Ash next week.
I'm as cool as Remy.
Says who?
Says who?
My mom thinks I'm cool. That's your advantage.
Yes.
Thanks, Mom.
My mom said I was cool.